Very good afternoon to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. The visiting team from New Zealand talk Wellington here once again on the tour of India. Play a series of matches against the 9 George Edward Rogers, number 5 Noah McDonald, the wicketkeeper, number 50 Zach Harness, number 10 Tasman Chris, number 6 Thomas Peters, no number here on his on the back of his t-shirt. Ashutosh Aryan, number 7 Ilyas Rahman, number 17 Blake Taylor, number 9 Xavier Robert, number 24. So that's the playing 11 for the Hutt Hawks team. The local team, the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium, is being represented by Siddharth Vasu, the captain. Dhruv Vasu, right hand, left arm Chinaman bowler as well. Adi Karma, the right arm medium pacer. Rushil KR, Raghav Agarwal, Siddharth TNV, Raghvendra I, right hand batsman, Narin Sen, Chintan S, the wicketkeeper, Chirantan, the right arm fast bowler, Samrat, the leg spinner, Srinivas, another right arm bowler, medium pacer, Sriram K, right arm batsman and the right arm pace bowler, Satvik MC, another right arm off spinner, and Pranav R, the right arm batsman and the right arm medium pacer. So that's the lineup for the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium team. Of course, Sriram, Satvik, and Pranav will be playing in the second match. We have got 2 matches built for the day, both the T20 affairs and the New Zealand team right now batting first. But Joe Wakalang and Henry Myers out there in the middle have made 11 runs. Srinivas Yadav in charge of the bowling operations from the pavilion end, and that ball pitched outside the off stump, pushed gently into the point region. To steady start, one must say. The boys from New Zealand coming to India, learning tours. A very, very good exposure trip for them, playing under different weather conditions, playing on different wickets, but also against the local boys, good opposition, regional teams, and of course, ultimately try to make it to the New Zealand team as well. So we have a number of boys coming up through the ranks from this sort of a series for the visitors, and certainly I know it does a lot for New Zealand and also the local teams cricket here. A fresh over commencing from the far end, the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium end. Raghav Agarwal, the right arm medium pacer, in charge of the attack. The nicely cut away towards the back of the point region. They go through for a quick signal as the return comes in sharply to the wicketkeeper. But then Joe and Henry well inside their respective creases. Joe Wakalang marking his crease over there as he gets ready to take on Raghav Agarwal. And he's bowled him this time. Good length delivery coming into the batsman. Beaten by the swing over there as the ball turned in very sharply after pitching. The batsman tried to drive but then completely missed it and had his wicket pegged back. So the visitors lose their first wicket. Raghav striking in his very, very first over, sending back the number 99, Joe Wakalang, back into the pavilion. Nice delivery, certainly beaten by the pace and the swing. The ball also kept quite low there. The batsman was almost all at three, unable to bring bat to bowl and had to walk back. Good delivery there by Raghav. It's going to be George Edward Rogers, the number 5 there coming in, left-hander. Marking his crease, has a look around the field changing over for the left-hander. Wicketkeeper Chintan standing well behind. He's got a man in the slips. A point has been cut away nicely towards backward point, and they take a sharp single there, but then the throw coming in, overthrows here as well, and that ball could well roll over the ropes. Yes, it does indeed. Attempt to have a quick shy at the wicketkeeper's end, not coming off, and the ball raced past the fielder who dived to his left to try and prevent overthrows, but was unable to reach it. And it rolled over the line on the far side of the ground over here for 4 runs, 4 extras, so 5 runs coming off the delivery. But the batsman, George Edward, off the mark. Once again, the field changing over for the right-handed Henry Maya as Raghav. Once again, well pitched up delivery going straight through past the off stump into the hands of the wicketkeeper as Henry tries to have a mighty go at that one, but makes no contact, playing it from inside his crease. Not much movement there. Not trying to get in line with the delivery to play that stroke. Getting nothing in the bargain. Raghav runs in but then breaks stride. Not delivering as he walks back. Once again, a nice delivery, beaten outside the off stump again there, but this time Henry, watchful, allows it to go past him into the hands of the wicketkeeper. End of the over. Successful one at that for Raghav. Got the wicket of Joe Wakalang. So after 2 overs, the Hutt Hawks from New Zealand, Wellington, 17 for 1. It's going to be Srinivas Yadav once again to continue bowling operations from the pavilion end. Over pitch delivery on the outside the leg stump as the left-hander George tries to drive, only gets the thick bottom edge of the bat and it trickles down towards the short square leg region, picked up and returned back. No question of a run over there. The batsman not quite getting hold of that intended drive or flick. This time he drives right through and that's going to be run in this, but then a valiant attempt there at long off to cut it off, but unable to do so as the ball just races over the ropes for 4 runs. Well timed half push, half drive there by George. Got the ball on the meat of the bat and pushed it without much power, but a lot of good timing, and the ball raced away past the fielders there on the offside at mid-off end, and the covers through to the boundary for 4 runs. Well timed shot there. Once again, over pitch delivery right into the block hole of the batsman George as he comes forward and pushes it defensively down the track there for the bowler to pick it up on his follow through. He's got wicketkeeper Chintan standing well behind, the lone man in the slip region. Point backed up by a deep backward point there. Cover, extra cover, mid off on the offside. And that another wicket over there, I think. Yes. A good length delivery, rising appreciably after pitching, and George coming forward to it. Was unable to keep it down. The ball took a top edge. There you see it, the replay. And he lost the bail there as the ball went and hit the stumps right at the center to send the bails knocking behind. So the Hutt Hawks lose their second wicket. Both the medium pacers picking up 1 wicket each. Raghav Agarwal and Srinivas Yadav both coming up with unplayable deliveries to send back Joe Wakalang first, and now George Edward, the one down batsman who came in place of Joe, but then not lasting long enough there at the wicket as the opener Henry Meyer still around. So the home side certainly with their tails up here at this stage of the game. Once again, Srinivas from the pavilion end. Again, longish bowling run up there, but not quite getting into his stride. Misses the final two before delivery as he walks back once again to the top of his bowling run up. There he is again. Full toss. The batsman getting a thick outer edge. The ball dropping just short of the fielder at deep point. But straight to him there, no question of a run. Noah Gregory McConnell, the wicketkeeper batsman, coming in here at number 4 for the visitors. There he is as he goes down on one knee and drives, but straight to mid-off there. Not quite getting hold of that delivery out, a share outside the off stump. End of the over. Srinivas Yadav, 1 wicket. Given away 15 runs in the 2 overs that he's bowled so far. Siddhant Vasu, the captain. Hands the ball back to Raghav Agarwal to continue bowling operations here from the Samprasiddhi Sports Stereo end. The field well spread out there inside the circle on the offside. This is outside the off stump and a chance for an out over here, and the two of them cross over for a single as the ball hit the wicketkeeper's pads and ricocheted towards the short third man region, but before the throw could come in, the two managed to steal a single there. Noah calling for the run and making ground in time. Henry also responding equally well. So a single then for that effort, and this is a good length delivery driven straight into the mid-off region as the two once again in a bit of a misunderstanding. Noah wanting a run, Henry coming out, then being sent back, but then no damage done as the ball was still in the hands of the fielder there at mid-off. And this has been cut away nicely, but then right once again into the hands of the fielder at the backward point. Picked it up on the first bounce, no question of a run there. Nevertheless, attractive looking stroke there from George Rogers. Looks to be quite an aggressive batsman, intent on taking on the bowling, and let's see how much he can succeed. Here is Raghav again. And this has been taken on the rise and lofted high over the head of the fielder there at the mid wicket as the ball slows down approaching the boundary ropes. But in the meantime, the batsmen have time enough to go through for 3 runs. Slightly slower delivery, rising after pitching, and the batsman taking it on the rise and playing an upper shot, but then safely over the head of the fielder there, a lone man out in the mid-wicket region. No one else close to prevent runs, and the two of them managed to take 3 quick runs for that effort. Raghav again. This is outside the off stump once again, and the ball hitting the pads of the wicketkeeper there as he bends down to collect and ricochet to shot third man. Another single taken quickly there by the two of them. Quite sharp enough in their runs, but then a bit of a misunderstanding also seen between the two of them. Hesitant to take the singles. A lofted shot once again. Fielder getting underneath it. He could be out. to the ball, just dropping out of his hands over there at long off, and the two of them take a single. Office shot there from the batsman. Not exactly a chance, but certainly could have converted it because he got right underneath it. Bit of a misjudgment in the end. This time again, Noah drives, not quite connecting. On the rise, straight to mid on there. No run. Got away nicely there through point, but then fielded equally well as also as the fielder drops down to his right and makes sure the ball doesn't pass him there. Single all the same. 33 for 2. 3.4 overs gone. Raghav Agarwal, 1 for 18 so far. Got the first breakthrough when he had Joe Wakalang's middle stump flying. Low pitch delivery outside the off stump, going straight through to the wicketkeeper. Henry plays all over it, not quite connecting there. And this is going to be 4 runs. Lovely shot there by Henry. Leaned on his back foot outside the off stump, and he flashed his bat across. Got a top edge, and the ball raced away past the fielders there in the point region, all the way to the ropes for 4 runs. Well timed, powerfully struck as well. End of the over. 37 for 2 for the visitors after 4 overs. Raghav Agarwal 1 for 22 after 2. Henry on 6 and Noah Gregory also on 6. The Hutt Hawks from New Zealand, as you see them in their black and green attire. The local boys in their all blue. Looks like there's going to be a bowling change here at the pavilion end. It's Chirantan, the right arm medium pacer. The first ball right outside the leg stump, beating the batsman and the wicketkeeper as well, and going through over the ropes there to the left of the side screen for 4 runs. So 4 byes being given away by Chirantan, the right arm medium pace bowler, coming in place of Srinivas Yadav. Airing in line, let's see what he can do to come back this next delivery. There he is. Better looking delivery outside the off stump as the batsman tries to drive but not quite getting hold of it. The ball takes the outer edge and runs down into the covers there. Picked up by the captain Siddhant and returned back to the bowler. And let's see how much Kiran can do to get back into his groove, get his rhythm back, and emulate Srinivas and Raghav in picking up a wicket. Start the off stump, rising after pitching, the wicketkeeper getting his gloves to it, with the ball ricocheting off towards the short fine leg region, giving Henry and Noah time enough to cross over for a single. You see it? The wicketkeeper, Chirant, Chintan rather. Chirant is the bowler. Nice delivery this time, almost into the block hole of the batsman, as the batsman Henry comes forward and digs it out, pushes it down the track over there towards the offside, fielded and returned back, no run. Henry wanting a single, but rightly sent back by Noah. Nice delivery, cut away nicely there, past point, a bit of a misfielding. They take one and come back for a very, very easy second there. As Henry went on his back foot and pushed it past point there. The ball bouncing a little awkwardly for the fielder. Nevertheless, 2 runs to the total. There you see the replay of that stroke. 45 for 2. Chirantan. Four pitch outside the leg stump as the batsman tries to turn it away somewhere in the mid-wicket square leg region, but wrapped on the pads. Half-hearted appeal going out there, but then there's no question of anything because the ball was missing the leg stump substantially. The appeal more in hope than any substance there. So outside the offside, got away nicely, and that's going to be 4 runs again to the deep third man fence over there. Henry just flinging his bat to that one outside the off stump, got an outer edge, and the ball just raced away over the ropes for 4 runs. End of the over. $49 for 2. The Hutt Hawks after 5 overs. Chiru giving away 11 runs in that over. Started off with a wild delivery outside the leg stump, ending up in 4 byes. And now there's slash outside the off stump, getting another boundary of his bowling, but this time to Henry. There's another bowling change in the offing from the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium, and it is going to be the captain himself, Siddhant Vasu, right arm batsman, is also right arm off spinner, as he takes charge of the attack from the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium end. He's got the wicketkeeper standing well up to the stumps. He's been turned away past mid wicket there, but then only a single. To Noah. A short third man, a backward point cover, mid off on the offside. Once again, outside the leg stump, attempt by Henry to turn it down towards the final leg region. Doesn't get a touch. All the same, the ball runs down for a single, wide also declared by the umpire there. So 2 runs of the delivery. Better looking ball this time, well pitched up to the batsman on a good length spot, turning in sharply after pitching. The batsman goes back but not able to bring bat to it. Taken by the keeper, no damage done. Of course, the ball just lobbing over the bails. This time he takes it on the half volley and swings it away past the fielder at the deep extra cover, wideish long off region. The ball rolls over the ropes for 4 runs, upish, but then struck very well there by Noah. There you see it. 56 for 2, the total for the Hutt Hawks from Wellington, New Zealand. Noah on 11 from 13, Henry on 12. Good length delivery this time, driven straight back down the track to the bowler, who does the fielding and tries to run out Henry there, but then Henry back in time inside his crease. And he's going to be out, yes. A superb cotton ball effort there by the captain Siddhant Vasu. Pitched that one well up to Noah, who tried to drive but then only got the middle of that bat, but the ball lobbed straight back to the bowler, kept quite low, and Siddhant Vasu bent low down to take that catch on his follow through to send back the attacking Noah. So Noah Edward Rogers, the number 5, walks back. The Noah Gregory McConnell, rather, the number 50, the wicketkeeper batsman. George Edward Rogers is the number 5. I think it was Siddhant Vasu picking up a wicket in his very first over. One more delivery still remaining in his over. So Joe Wakalang, George Rogers, and Noah Gregory McConnell all back in the pavilion for the Hutt Hawks from New Zealand, as they are now 56 for the loss of 3 wickets. It's going to be the number 10, Zach Harkness, who's coming in. As Vasu flights that one right up to the batsman, who pushes it down into the covers there, straight to the fielder, but then no question of a run over there. End of the over. Vasu 1 over 7 runs and 1 wicket. The home team certainly is going to be Chirantan to continue bowling operations. Better looking delivery this time outside the off stump as the batsman pushes it down into the covers there to Siddhant Vasu. No run of that first delivery. And lofted shot there to the long on fence for 4 runs. Henry picking that delivery up there on the rise. and lofting it over the heads of the fielders, all the way to the long on fence for 4 runs. So the total goes up to 60 for 3 now with that boundary. Of course, Chirantan having some problems with his line and length. Once again, outside the off stump. Going straight through to the wicketkeeper. The batsman having nothing to do with it. This is once again pitched on the off and middle as Henry takes it on the half volley and drives to mid on. Picked up there by Srinivas, who tries to have a shy at the non-striker's end. But Zach slightly out of his crease, wanting a single there. Missing the stumps though, but then no damage done, no run either. Once again outside the off stump, not quite cleanly gathered there by the wicketkeeper. Chintan nevertheless recovers well in time to prevent any runs from being taken. The total remains on 61 for 3. Once again outside the off stump as the batsman flashes without getting in line with the delivery there. The ball going straight through to the wicketkeeper Chintan, who's certainly having some difficulty in judging the bounce. As he once again fails to gather clean, but nevertheless recovers in time to prevent runs all the same. This is outside the off stump, off the front foot. Henry drives straight towards the long off there, but then just a single. Nevertheless, a good looking stroke there from Henry. End of the over. Chirantan none for 17 after 2 overs, and the Hutt Hawks are 62 for 3 after 7 overs. Zach Pearson yet to open his account. Henry Meyer on 17 from 17 deliveries. Opened the innings, saw the departure of 3 of his colleagues. Joe Wakalang, George Edward and Noah Gregory McConnell. And he's now there in the company of Zach Harkness to build up the total, and let's see how much the visiting team will eventually put up on the board for the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadia boys to chase. Siddhant Vasu once again in charge of the bowling operations, and he's bowled him. Good length delivery, turning in sharply from outside the off stump onto the wicket, and the batsman goes on his back foot. Does not time his stroke well. He possibly could have gone on his front foot to tackle that, but then he was beaten by the length and the turn of that delivery as it knocked the off stump back. So the visitors lose one more wicket. There you see the replay of the dismissal. There you see it. The batsman beaten by the turn. Try to dry off the back foot. Possibly had he seen that quite early enough and picked it up. An attempt to play it on the front foot could possibly have got him better dividends had he met it on the half volley, but that wasn't to be as he tried to dry off his back foot. He was beaten completely there. And the opener, Henry Meyer, walks back to scoring 17 runs. "62 for 4. The Samprasiddhi Sports Stadio boys, one must say, have held the initiative with them from the start of the innings, as the visitors have kept losing wickets at regular intervals with not much on the board so far. It's going to be Tasman Chris coming into bat, the left-hander. Once again, the field changing over as Siddhant Vasu also decides to come round the wicket, which in effect is over the wicket to the left-hander. And let's see what's going to be the outcome of this tussle. Well pitched up delivery as Tasman comes forward and pushes it down past the fielder at mid-off. And before the ball is returned from a deeper position, manages to get off the mark with a single there. For the first delivery that he faced, Zach Harkness. Tries to drive off the front foot, gets a thick outer edge. The ball trickles down to Srinivas Yadav at the short third man. No question of any run over there. A lot of appeal for leg before as the batsman tries to swing that one towards the square leg region, hit on the patch with the ball missing the leg stump, I presume. Nothing doing, says the umpire. Vasu again. Got away nicely off the back foot there towards the backward point. Cutting off that one well there, I think, is Raghav, but then can't prevent the two from crossing over for a single. End of the over. Vasu, 2 overs, 9 runs and 2 wickets. So the captain leading from the front, picking up 2 crucial wickets, sending back Noah, Gregory and Henry Meyer. Let's see how much Zach and Tasman can do to build up the Hutt Hawks' innings and put up a total good enough for their own bowlers to get at the home team. Let's see how much the eventual figure is going to be. Looks like there's another bowling change over here at the pavilion end. It's going to be Samrat, I think. Samrat Ronur, yes. The right arm batsman and right arm leg spinner who's taking charge of the attack over here. First delivery, well flighted but outside the off stump. as the batsman tries to drive, does not quite get hold of it. Taken by the keeper. Once again outside the off stump, but this time up go the arms of the umpire there. White called. One more to the total. Samrat, the leg spinner. Almost a full toss. Taken on the full and driven, but straight into the covers there. Fielded and returned back to the bowler. And time, no run. Another well-fired delivery taken on the half volley and pulled away down towards long off there. Up a shot, but then safely in front of the fielder there, fielding in the deep, but then only a single for that effort there from the batsman. 66 for 4. Jasmine Chris on strike. This is outside the leg stump, has been picked up on the rise and pulled away down towards the deep backward square leg fence for 4 runs. The bowler not quite pitching the ball there on the right, erring slightly in line and getting punished there. Let's see what he can do this time to Tasman. Once again, wide outside the leg stump as Tasman Chris tries to swing, but then misses it completely. The ball beats the wicketkeeper as well and runs down towards the side screen as the umpire declares a wide as well, and the batsmen take 2 runs. So the total for the visiting team, the Hutt Hawks from Wellington, New Zealand, now rating 73 for 4. Tasman Edward Chris on 5. Better looking delivery this time on the midland leg stump as the batsman gets to the pitch of that ball and pushes it gently down on the onside for the bowler to move to his left to do the fielding himself. Last ball of the over coming up. This time Tasman goes on his back foot and drives into the covers there. Straight to the fielder, no run, end of the over. 9 overs gone, 73 for 4. Tasman Edward Chris on 5 and Zach Pearson Harkness on 2. The sun hiding behind the clouds over here, and the light slightly becoming a little dim. Then, of course, the second match to be played under floodlights here at the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium. A venue equipped in all respects. Delicately cut away down towards short third man by Zach, but then no run as the ball runs down to Srinivas Yadav there. Siddhant Vasu once again in charge of the bowling attack. Once again, got away nicely, but then straight towards Raghav Agarwal there at backward point. No run again. This time Zach takes it on the half volley and drives towards long on and just ambles across for a single. The field changes over for the left-handed Tasman Chris. Siddhant Vasu as wicketkeeper standing well up and a man at the shot, third man. He comes forward to that well pitched up delivery and pushes it on the rise towards mid off. Picked up and returned back to the bowler. No run there. Once again taken on the half volley and swung down towards deep square. Just a single. There's a man on the fence over there. Up a shot but safely out of reach of the fielder there at deep square leg. Only a single. 75 for 4. This time Zach comes forward to that turning delivery, pushes over the defense bat there as it takes the outer edge and runs down to shot third man again. No run, end of the over. 3 overs, 11 runs, 2 wickets. Siddhant Vasu. And the Hutt Hawks from Wellington, New Zealand, 75 for 4 after 10 overs. The halfway mark of the innings reached over here. And I think it's going to be there's going to be a slight water break or liquid break as we call it for the fielders and the batsmen and also the umpires there. The game held up for a brief while and we'll be back with you once the action resumes, possibly the bowling and changing to the welcome back as action resumes with the 11th over being bowled from the pavilion end. Samrat fighting that one right up to the batsman as Tasman Chris goes down on one knee and tries to pull it away but misses it completely. The ball missing the leg stump as well, I think. Appeal negative by the umpire. Samrat Donur again. And this time the batsman managed to take it on the half volley and swings it away down towards the deep back of the square leg, but then the ball stopping short of the ropes there, but then not much of power in that effort either. So just 2 runs to Tasman. Goes up 8. This time he goes on his backward once again and pulls it away uppishly, but then straight towards deep mid wicket. Gets only a single though. That brings the right-handed Zach Harkness once again on strike. Samra also switching his bowling side, going over the wicket, but has been pushed away down towards the third man. They take one, come back for the second as well before the throw could come in to the hands of the wicketkeeper. Slightly wavered throw also, as the two of them decide to go for a second run rather late. Nevertheless, succeed in making it. Lofted shot over here, picked up on the half volley and swung, and that's going to be the first six of the innings at wideish deep mid wicket there. Picked up on the half volley and swung his bat at it. Zach Harkness getting the first six of the innings, taking the total on 86, and once again cuts it away uppishly down towards the deep backward point, but then not more than a single for that effort. End of the over from Samrat. 2 overs, 21 runs. Yet to take a wicket. And the Hutt Hawks are 87 for 4 after 11 overs. It's going to be Dhruv Vasu to bowl the 12th over. This is from the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium, the left arm spinner. The first delivery cut away down towards short third man, and the batsman quickly crossed over for a single. Once again, the field changing over for the left-handed Jasmine Chris. Picked up on the half volley and swung. He could be out. Yes, he is. At long on. Wasn't able to get the distance as the ball went straight to the fielder there, who made no mistake in taking that catch, bending low down there, as the Hutt Hawks lose another wicket. 88 to 5 now they are, with Dhruv Vasu picking up a wicket in the very second delivery of this over, the 12th in the visiting team's innings. Surely the Samprasiddhi Sports boys striking at regular intervals, preventing the New Zealand team batsmen from piecing together substantial partnerships, ensuring that they're always under pressure. The loss of wickets. Looks like it's going to be the young Thomas Peters coming into bat. The left-hander taking guard from the umpire there as he marks his crease. As I look around to ensure that his sweep or pull doesn't land into the fielder's hands, and let's see what he can do. Flatted delivery as he goes forward and digs it out of his block hole and pushes the ball down into the covers there. No run, straight to the fielder though. This is outside the leg stump and swung away nicely there to the fine leg fence for 4 runs. Loose delivery outside the leg stump, and the youngster managing to get right over the ball there and timed it well to send it screaming down to the ropes for 4 runs. 92 now the total for the Hutt Hawks for the loss of 5 wickets. In some spot of a bother there, Thomas pushes it with some difficulty down the track for the bowler to pick it up. This is outside the off stump as he goes forward, shoulders arms, and allows the ball to go through to the wicket keeper. End of the over. Dhruv Vasu, 1 over, 5 runs, and 1 wicket. One overs gone, 92 for 5. The Hutt Hawks from Wellington, New Zealand. In the first match of their series over here in their visit to India, Bangalore, taking on the home team, the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadio Academy boys. This is a match between the under 18 teams of the two institutions. Fresh over commencing from the pavilion end. Samrat Donor in charge of the bowling. This is outside the off stump, cut away nicely there. The runs in this as the ball races between the fielders there. Stop just inside the boundary line. Nevertheless, the two of them take 2 runs. Zach Pearson Harkness goes up to 15 and the total on to 94 for 5. The Hutt Hawks inching closer to the 100-run mark. Full toss, swung away down and well attempt there by Siddhant Vasu, I think the skipper, to take that catch at the mid wicket, but then eluding his grasp. Nevertheless, the two of them cross over for a single. 95 for 5, which brings the young Thomas Peters on strike there. The left-hander once again taking fresh guard from the other side. Surveying the field once again as he settles down to take on Samrat Donor. Full toss outside the off stump, then the batsman allows the ball to pitch outside the off stump, takes it on the half volley and tries to drive, but takes the outer edge, runs down towards shot. Third man, no run. Full toss, swung away nicely there, and that's going to be 4 runs to the deep mid-wicket fence. Thomas Peters certainly looking for runs over here. The youngster playing in the under 18 match, I think should be around 15 or so, but has the temperament and the courage to take on the older boys. Once again outside the off stump, very watchful there. Thomas Peters as he goes on his back foot and pushes it into the covers. No run. End of the over. Samra Donor, 3 overs, 28 runs. You have to take a wicket. 13 overs gone, 99 for 5 as the Hutt Hawks just 1 run away from the 100-run mark as far as the total is concerned. And it's going to be Drew Wasu, I think, to continue bowling operations from the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium end. On the middle and off stump there is Zach presents almost a dead defensive bat. The ball takes the outer edge, runs down to shot. Third man, no run there. This time he tries to drive but doesn't quite get hold of it. Slightly off timing there. The ball hitting his bat on the pads and runs down towards the mid-off region. Picked up and returned back to the bowler. This is nicely swung away and that's going to be 4 runs. Yes. Playing with the turn there. Took it on the rise as the ball turned into him. Connected well and an upper shot. The ball raced away over the deep mid-wicket fence for 4 runs. And that brings up the 100 of the New Zealand team innings. They are now 103 for 5. Well pitched up delivery coming in a little sharply after pitching. As the batsman tries to drive again, gets an outer edge to shot. Third man, no run again there. This time he drives well on the front foot, taken on the half volley towards wideish. Deep extra cover. Gets a single there. Zach goes on to 21 from 34 and Thomas Peters on 8 from 7 on strike. He tries to drive, gets an inside edge and the ball races between the wicketkeeper and the stumps there. Just below the commentary box over here for 4 runs. A lucky boundary as Thomas Peters tried to drive but only got an inner edge. Lucky for him, the ball did not drop onto the stumps. There you see the replay of that effort on your screens. Fourteen overs gone, 108 for 5. The Hutt Hawks from Wellington, New Zealand, and looks like there's going to be another bowling change over here with the medium pacer. I think Chirantan being brought back into the attack. Ball pitching on a good length spot and coming into the batsman quite sharply after pitching as Zach pushes it down on the offside into the mid-off region, picked up and returned back to the bowler Chirantan. Long bowling run up there, right arm over the wicket, bowls once again, up a shot there, but then dropping shot of Siddhant Vasu at mid-wicket. Nevertheless, he comes charging in to prevent runs from being taken. Total remains on 108 for 5. Once again outside the off stump as the batsman plays it square of the wicket point there, but Siddhant Vasu alert enough to do the fielding, but can't prevent the two from crossing over for a single, and which brings the left-handed Thomas Peters on strike again there. And let's see what this attack-minded batsman is going to do. Chirantan, changing his bowling side, now decides to go around the wicket, which is over the wicket to the left-hander. Short pitch delivery, cut away nicely there towards deep third man, but then only a single. Over pitch delivery taken on the half volley and pushed away nicely there towards the backward point, and before the ball is thrown into the hands of the wicketkeeper, they managed to take two very comfortable runs there, as you saw it on your screen. Zach Harkness goes up to 24 and the total 112 for 5. Last ball of the 15th over coming up from Chirantan. Short pitch delivery taken on the full and swung away down, and he could be out. Yes, he's out. The ball lobbing behind, and the wicketkeeper Chintan getting underneath it to catch it safely as Zach Harkness walks back. So the Hutt Hawks from Wellington, New Zealand lose their 6th wicket. They will see the replay of that dismissal. 112 for 6 after 15 overs, 5 more to go. And certainly the home team enjoying the advantage in the game so far, with every spell of overs that they have bowled so far in the inning, picking up wickets almost at regular intervals. As I said, not allowing Hutt Hawks to build up substantial partnership. Zach Harkness looked quite well settled and intent on getting the scoring along, but then this shot cost him his wicket, as he was unable to time it well, and the ball took the top edge of the bat and lobbed behind him into the hands of the wicketkeeper there, Chintan, who made no mistake. Looks like it's going to be Ashutosh Aryan coming into bat at number 8 for the visitors. Thomas Peters on strike and in charge of the bowling operation. Dhruv Vasu, as Thomas drives past cover, they take one and come back for the second as the throw comes in to the non-striker then this time, but then the two of them home and dry. 114 for 6. Once again, a good length ball coming in to the batsman from outside the off stump as Thomas pushes it gently into the point region. The wicketkeeper Chinton running in to do the fielding. And this time he takes it on the half volley and swings it down, but then well fielded at deep mid wicket there. But before the throw could come in, they take 2 runs. This time the ball turning away from the batsman. He tried to cut, but missed it completely. Taken well by the wicketkeeper. And this time again, let's see the ball racing away to the deep third man fence for 4 runs, but the umpire signaling a bye as the batsman tried to cut, missed it. So did the wicketkeeper. The ball raced away between the lone man and the slips and the wicketkeeper. Below the side screen here to the deep third man fence for 4 runs. Once again, a similar delivery, but this time the batsman beaten on his back foot and trying to cut, but then taken by the keeper as the ball bounced a little higher than expected for Thomas Peters. Quite a compact looking youngster for the visitors. Thomas Peters always on the lookout for runs, and let's see how much he can do in the company of the new man Ashutosh Aryan, the batsman with the number 7 on the back of his t-shirt. And it looks like it's going to be Srinivas Yadav to bowl the 17th over of the innings. 120 for 6 after 16. The visiting Hutt Hawks from New Zealand. 4-pitch delivery taken on the half volley and cut away nicely there, and that's going to be 4 runs. Yes, to the deep backward point boundary as Ashutosh Aryan gets off the mark with that boundary of the very first ball that he's faced. $124 for 6, the total for the Hutt Hawks. Outside the off stump as the batsman comes forward to drive but misses it completely. Taken by the keeper, a loud appeal for a catch behind, but no, says the umpire. This is outside the off stump again. No pitch delivery as Ashutosh once again tries to drive. Powerfully struck this time on the half volley, but straight into the hands of the fielder at covers. Looks like that Samrat, no run. The total remains on 124 for 6. Short pitch delivery outside. The batsman comes out to dry, but not quite playing that delivery, coming in line with that one there and taken by the keeper. No run. Last ball of the over coming up. 124 for 6. Another short pitch delivery, this time turned away off his pads there towards square leg by Ashutosh, but gets a single. The throw comes in from Siddhant Vasu there. End of the over. 17 gone, 125 for 6. 3 more to go. And let's see how much the visitors will be able to build up. Dhruv Vasu commencing a fresh over from the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium. The first ball, and that's a nice piece of stumping there as Ashutosh walks back. Well pitched up to the batsman who tried to move out of his crease to drive. Beaten by the turn, collected well by the wicketkeeper Chintan, who had the bails off in a flash, catching Ashutosh Aryan off the crease there, and the visiting team lose another wicket. There you saw the replay of the dismissal as Dhruv Vasu picked up his first wicket, second wicket rather, 2 for 18 from 3.2 overs, and the New Zealand team 125 for 7. Thomas Peters still around there with 17 well-made runs to his name. Looks like it's the number 17, Ilyas Rahman, to join Thomas Peters. Yes, it is Ilyas Rahman as you see him. As he takes guard and settles down to take on Dhruv Vasu. A good delivery there and hit slightly high on the pads. Appeal for a leg before by the bowler. No, says the umpire. The ball once again hitting the batsman on his pads outside the leg stump there, I think. No, he got a mild touch to it as the ball trickled down towards short fine, and they cross over for a single. This time Thomas Peters drives straight down to mid-off there. Takes off for a single with the stroke. He goes up to 18 and the total to 127 for 7. Last ball of the 18th over coming up. Taken on the rise and pulled swung away down. And we'll wait for the umpire's signal, and that's going to be 6 runs. Yes, the ball lobbing just over the head of the fielder there at the deep mid wicket fence as the batsman managed to take it on the half volley and swung it high over there, and the ball just lobbed behind the back of the bowler, the fielder there for 6 runs. So the second 6 of the innings. The first one from Henry Maya, and now it's Ilyas Rahman picking up the second one here. The total goes up to 133 for 7. End of the over, Dhruv Vasu 2 for 26 after 4 overs. And the total to 133 for 7. The 19th over from the Poland end just commencing with Srinivas Yadav on towards Thomas Peters, who managed to guide the ball into the deep backward point region and get the single there. He goes up to 18. 19 from 17. Srinivas Yadav once again, right arm over the wicket. 4-pitch delivery almost into the block hole of the batsman Ilyas Rahman, who comes forward and pushes it down the track for the bowler to pick it up on his follow through. No run there. The penultimate over of the Hutt Hawks innings. Once again, a good delivery, chopped the way down towards the third man to take one and come back for the second as well before the throw could come in to the hands of the wicket keeper. 2 runs, 136 for 7 now. Pitch delivery, almost a full toss. Pushed away down towards long on, just single. Nice delivery this time from Srinivas Yadav, beating the bat outside the off stump. The ball leaving Thomas Peters head outside the off stump as he came forward to drive, but then missed it completely, beaten by the swing and the pace of the delivery after pitching. Taken by the keeper, no run there. Last ball of the 19th over coming up. Short pitch delivery. Thomas Peters takes it on the rise and punches it down towards long off. Gets a single. End of the over. 19 overs gone. 138 for 7. The Hutt Hawks from New Zealand taking on the Samprasiddhi Sports Stereo Academy boys. This is the first match of this cricketing series being played by the visiting team from New Zealand here. The under 18 boys from both sides taking on one another here. And it's going to be Raghav Agarwal to bowl the final over of the innings. The 20th from the Samprasiddhi Sports Stereo end. As he arranges the field over there, the wicketkeeper standing well behind the man at the between short third man and deep backward point. The man on the deep point bound on the deep square leg boundary, a mid wicket, and the deep mid wicket on the onside. Nice delivery, good length, pitching on a good length spot there outside the off stump, beaten by the bounce there as it lobs over the bails into the hands of the wicketkeeper as Thomas Peters goes to drive but then plays all under it. 138 for 7. This is down the leg side as the batsman kneels on one foot and tries to swing it down towards the deep square leg, fine leg region, but then misses it completely. The wicketkeeper knocks down the bails, intending to stump the batsman, but he was well inside his crease, so he lost his balance a little. No run in any case. Short pitch delivery, keeping low after pitching as Thomas Peters takes it on the rise and drives down to long off there for a single. 3 more to go. 139 for 7. Taken on the rise and swung away down towards the deep mid wicket there by Ilyas Rahman, but then up a shot safely out of reach of the fielder there in the deep. Single all the same. 140 for 7. The Hutt Hawks total now looking a lot more respectable. Thomas Peters takes this one on the rise and plays it across the line towards mid on there from outside the off stump. Gets a single all the same. 141 for 7. Last ball of the innings coming up. And this is taken on the rise and swung away down into the vacant deep mid wicket region for 4 runs, and that's the end of the innings as the Hutt Hawks from New Zealand finally managing to put up a total of 145 for 7 after 20 overs. The Samprasiddhi Sports Stereo team needing 146 to win this match against the visitors. And once they begin their chase, we'll be back with you. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Samprasiddhi Sports Studio with the home team chasing 146 for a possible victory. Have scored 12 runs in the first 5 deliveries of this first over. We already had a 6 being scored in the inning very early, in fact, with Adi Karma and Rushil at the wicket. Adi on 10, scoring all the runs with 2 extras coming up their way. Last ball of the over from Blake. And another lofted shot there, and that should be another 6 there at long off, as this one was taken on the half volley and swung high behind the bowler's back to the right of the side screen there for 6 runs. So 18 runs coming off with the very first over from Blake Allen called Taylor, and the home team, the Samprasiddhi Sports Studio, off to a very, very impressive start in their chase for 146. With this match against the visiting Hutt Hawks team from New Zealand. Adi Karma on 16 from 6 deliveries. He's faced all the 6 balls in the first over, getting 16 runs with 2 sixes and 1 boundary as well to the deep third man region. It's going to be Ashutosh Aryan in charge of the attack. Full toss, guided away down to deep third man there. No ball also called there by the umpires, so 2 runs coming off that over. The free hit also coming up, so let's see what the batsman can do with this free hit. Adi Karma on fire there, on strike as well. And let's see what Ashutosh can deliver. There he is, takes it on the half volley, once again swings it away. Could be out. Yes, he's out there. The ball took the outer edge of the bat, but it's a free hit, so there's no question of a dismissal there. So the ball hitting the outer edge and lobbing down towards the deep mid-wicket region there, taken deep mid-off. But then, lucky for him, the free hit delivery, so no damage done for the home team, as Adi Karma still very much there at the wicket. Gets a single all the same. 21 without loss there. This is taken on the half rise and swung away down towards the deep extra cover boundary for 4 runs there by Rushil. First powerful scoring shot there from this compact looking batsman. There you see it on 1 bounce and over the ropes for 4 runs. So the total racing up to 25 without loss in just 1.2 overs. This is swung away down towards deep fine. There's a fielder there. They won't get more than a single. $120-111. The equation being brought down rapidly by the home side. Adi Karma in particular, 17 of 7. 2 sixes and 1 boundary. Once again, off-pitch delivery, which the batsman tries to drive, gets a thick inner edge of the bat as the ball races away towards the deep backward square leg fence for 4 runs. Lucky shot, nevertheless. Lucky boundary. Not quite connecting, but then runs all the same. looks like the ball is to be replaced. All set for Rashid to send down the last of the over. And another aggressive shot here, up a shot, and let's see what's going to be the outcome of this one here at. Oh no, that's been dropped there at near long on, just behind the bowler there. The fielder coming in underneath it, got both his hands to it, but wasn't able to hold on. Possibly the sun was in his eyes. Nevertheless, there you see it, the dropped catch as Adi Karma goes up to 28 from 10 and the total to 37 without loss after just 2 overs. Ashutosh Aryan 1 over 19 runs. Going to be Blake Allen Cole Taylor yet again to operate from the pavilion end. Is the second over of the innings with the visiting side under pressure. On both occasions, when they batted, they lost wickets at regular intervals, and now when they are bowling, they have been forced to cop a lot of punishment there by Adi Karma. A fast delivery, well pitched up to the batsman, coming in to him from outside the off stump as he pushes it down to mid wicket there, but then there's a fielder, no run. Once again, taken on the rise and driven firmly there, but powerfully enough. Yet straight to the fielder. Zach Harkness at mid off. No run. Blake Taylor again. Right arm over the wicket. Bowls outside the off stump as Zadi Karma goes for a mighty one at that, but then misses it completely. Lucky for him. The ball was shaved just outside the off stump. Right into the hands of the wicket keeper. Noah Gregory McConnell. Once again, lofted shot there, and that's going to be 4 runs. Picked up on the rise and swung over mid wicket there. The ball raced away to the deep mid wicket ropes for 4 runs. Over the ropes on 1 bounce. Adi Karma in full flow here for the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium. 41 for no loss. He's on 32 from 14. Good delivery. This one from Blake Taylor. Pitching on a good length spot and coming into the batsman. Sharply from outside the off stump as he pushes it down into the point region. Straight to the fielder though, no run. The ball back in the hands of Blake, who's got wicketkeeper standing well behind, a slipper shot, third man there, close to the wicket. This is outside the leg stump. Wide call by the umpire there, as Noah McConnell, the wicketkeeper, dives to his left to make a smart collection, preventing any extra runs by way of byes. 1 run to the total, 42 without loss. Last ball of the over coming up from Blake Taylor from the pavilion end. There he is, the number 9, turning away from us and going. There it is, lofted, full half shot there, outside edge of the bat, and the ball races away over the deep backward point ropes for 6 runs, in fact. There you see it. Full half cut sort of shot there, played by the batsman Adi Karma, who goes up to 38 from 16, and the total to 48 without loss after 3 overs. A run rate of 16 runs an over being kept up there right from the beginning by the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium. Splendid going indeed for any team, and the visitors certainly hard pressed in the match so far. The Hutt Hawks from Wellington, New Zealand, coming up on regular visits to Bangalore and India to give their boys an opportunity to hone their cricketing skills, playing in different climatic conditions, playing against different kind of opposition on different wickets. The results are of little consequence. The learning process very much. Looks as though there's going to be a bowling change on the far side. Xavier Robert Falconer, the spinner, pressed into the attack, and this has been driven down straight down towards the deep extra cover ropes for 4 runs by Rushil, taking a clue from his partner Adi Karma. Rushil also getting aggressive at times. The total goes past the 50-run mark, 52 for no loss. Once again, well-flatted delivery. This time, Rushil tries to drive slightly uppishly down the track there, falling short of the bowler. This is taken on the rise and punched away down towards a long on, but just a single. "53 for no loss." Once again, the ball turning in sharply from middle to the leg stump as Rushil picks it up on the rise and punches it down towards mid-on. They take 2 runs for that effort. 54 for no loss. Once again pushed into the same region there, as this time they cross over for a sharp single with the stroke. End of the over. 4 gone, 55 without loss, 91 more in 96 to win for the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadio. Xavier Robert Falconer, none for 7, and his only over that he's bowled so far. And let's see if there's going to be another bowling change here at the pavilion end. Looks as though there is. one with uh, Ilyas Rahman, the number 17, coming into bowl. As he sets the field for Rushil, who's on strike on 12. Adi Karma on 39 from 17. As Ilyas Rahman warms up. Right arm over the wicket bowls. Well fired delivery. Rushil watching it carefully, pushing it down the track to the bowler. Brighton picked up on the half volley and swung away down to long on for a huge six this time by Rushil. Effortless shot there from the batsman. Not much of power there, but all timing as the ball races over the ropes for 6 runs. Once again, he takes it on the full and thumps it down over long on for another 6. Yeah, 2 maximums in a row there by Rushil. He's trying to catch up with his partner, Adi Karma. There you see it. And again, the ball soars over the whitish deep mid wicket region for another 6. 3 deliveries and 3 sixes. Rushil absolutely on fire here. Trying to not just better but also surpass his partner in attacking strokes. This time he plays a gentle push down towards long on and walks across for a single as Thomas Peters does the fielding. 74 for no loss. Rushil on 31, Adi on 39. And this time it's Adi who picks it up on the rise and slams it down 4 runs. Deep extra cover fence. So the total rocketing up to 78 without loss. End of the over. Ilyas Rahman giving away 23 runs in the over that he's bowled. The total going up to 78 for no loss in just 5 overs. 68 more in 90 deliveries. The equation for the home team. Full toss, the first one, and he could be out this time. Yes. Rushil pulls that one straight down to mid off there into the hands of the fielder as the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium lose their first wicket. Xavier Robert Falconer, the bowler, sent down a full toss, and Rushil not managing to pack enough punch into that lofted shot, only played it straight to the fielder at mid off. He made no mistake as Rushil walks back after an aggressive 31 in which he had 3 sixes in a row in that over on the previous occasion from Ilyas Rahman, as the total for the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium under 18 team now 78 for 1. It's going to be Siddharth walking in to join Adi Karma at the wicket. Siddharth, TNB, his initials. Turns this one down towards the backward square leg region. Straight to the fielder there, doesn't get any run. Once again, just so, but let's see if he's got a touch to it as the ball races away to the deep fine leg region as they take 2 runs. Now it's gone off the pad. Leg by signal by the umpire. Nevertheless, 2 runs to the total, 80 for 1 now. This time he comes forward to the pitcher that one, takes it on the turn and pushes it down towards mid wicket, gets a single. This time cut away nicely there towards fine, but before the ball could be fielded and returned back to the wicket keeper, they managed to go for a quick single. End of the over. 6 overs gone, 86 for 160 runs in 84 deliveries. The question for the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadio boys. Adi Karma back on strike, just too short of what should be an absolutely marvelous 50 for him. It's going to be Ilyas Rahman to continue the bowl. Conceded 21 runs in the first over, and let's see what he's got up his sleeve over here in this over. Flighted delivery, full toss. Adi Karma takes it on the pole and slams it down, long off, but straight to the fielder there, just gets a single. And again, this time a lofted shot there, high. Thomas Peters gets underneath it, but gets both his hands, unable to keep it as it pops out of his hands there at long on, and as Adi Karma gets a life. There you see it, the drop catch from Thomas Peters. Well started delivery, and Siddharth this time gets to the pitch of that one and takes it on the half volley and drives down towards mid off. Walks across for a single. Adi Karma on 50 with that earlier single from 22 deliveries, and this time he tries to play a reverse sweep there. The ball runs away down over the ropes, off his pad, over the ropes there, past the wicket keeper. 4 runs, 4 extras. Appeal for leg before decision, but no, says the umpire. Once again, a full toss, and this time he pulls it away to long off. There's a fielder there, although, and he gets another single. End of the over from Ilyas. Better looking over this time, not conceding much or as many as it did in the first over. Just 5 runs in this over. 2 overs, 28 runs. His figures 95 for 1. The Samprasiddhi Sports Stadio boys. 51 of 78. The equation for the home side. Quite dominant in this match here in terms of bowling, fielding, and batting against the visiting Hutt Hawks from Wellington, New Zealand. Good looking delivery this time from Xavier Robert Falconer. The batsman missing it completely. The ball just missing the off stump. Another lofted shot over here this time. And at backward, deep backward point there. Catch very, very well taken there by Ashutosh Aryan. Adi Karma went for a drive. The ball took the outer edge and lobbed towards the deep backward point, and Ashutosh Aryan took a couple of steps behind and managed to judge it well and hold on to that skyer as Adi Karma walked back after scoring 50 superb runs. So the home side lose their second wicket. There you see it. Not quite getting hold of that intended pull there. Adi Karma, the ball taking the outer edge and lobbing towards the deep backward point, and Ashutosh Aryan judging it well to hold on. 95 for 2. Raghavendra joining Siddharth there at the wicket. Well pitched up delivery on the off and middle as the batsman goes forward to it, presents a defensive push there down into the covers. No run. This time he takes it on the half volley and drives it square past the point. Gets a single to get off the mark. .96 for 2. And he's out this time. Superb delivery from Xavier Robert Falconer. Pitched on a good length and came in very sharply, kept low as well. The batsman tried to turn it, missed it completely. He was wrapped on the pads in front of the wicket. And the finger went up almost instantly. So the Hutt Hawks from New Zealand trying to stay very much alive in the match, picking up another wicket. The third of the innings. As the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium are 96 for 3, needing just 50 runs in 73 balls, with 7 wickets still remaining. Xavier Robert Falconer picking up all the 3 wickets that have fallen so far. Bowling very well, 3 for 14 in 2.5 overs. One more delivery left for him to complete this over. This is down the leg side, wide called by the umpire. One more run to the total. 97 for 3. Pushed into the covers, no run. This one coming in from outside the off stump. End of the over, 8 overs gone, 97 for 3, 49 from 72. The equation for the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium. Xavier Robert Falconer, 3 for 15 after 3 overs. Superb bowling figures for the bowler. Good bowling at any level of the game. Ilyas Rahman back in charge of the attack. Outside the off stump as the batsman tries to cut but misses it completely. Raghavendra taken by the keeper. This time he comes forward to the pitch of that delivery on his front foot and drives through the covers there. They take one, come back for the second as well and make it comfortably. 99 for 3, one short of the 100-run mark. Again driven through the covers there towards long off for another single. That gets the 100 on the board. 100 for 3. This is down the leg side. We'll wait for the umpire signal as the ball runs away down towards the deep final leg. The batsman takes 2 runs off the pad. Leg by signaled by the umpire there. 102 for 3. Driven down towards mid on there. Thomas Peters making a good stop. Gives away just a single. Delicately turned mid wicket there as the batsman take a very, very sharp single. End of the over. 9 gone, 104 for 3, 42 more and 66 the equation for the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadio. Xavier Robert Falconer beginning a fresh over from the far end. Well tossed up delivery. The batsman going forward and playing it down the track for him to do his own fielding. This one has been turned away down to mid wicket. By Raghavendra, but then no run, wanting a single there. Is the non-striker. Arin, but then no, says Raghavendra, and quite right. So the ball is picked and picked up. The next one being pushed into point. Again, no run. This has been turned away down towards the square leg region, but before the ball is fielded and thrown in by Ilyas, they managed to take a single. Driven powerfully there towards the long on, but before the throw could come in, they take a single. Last ball of the over from Xavier Robert Falconer. Well pitched up, turning in after pitching, driven down back to the bowler there, who picks it up on his follow through. End of the over. 4 overs, 17 runs and 3 wickets. Xavier Robert Falconer in his spell of 4 overs. As we come to the halfway mark of the innings, 10 overs gone, 106 for 3. 40 more needed in 60 deliveries at just 4 runs and over. So, with 7 wickets still remaining, the home team should not find it difficult to eventually cross over the line. And let's see how much the Hutt Hawks can do to still stay alive in the match. The players are back in position after a short water break midway through the innings, and it's going to be the number 17, Ilyas Rahman, once again in charge of bowling operations. 11th over. And taken lofted shot there towards mid-off. And that's another wicket. Aaron Sen not able to connect well there and played it uppishly towards mid-off. The fielder stepping a couple of yards back did well to hold the catch. And I think that was Zach Harkness. So the home team lose another wicket over here. (106 for 4). It's going to be Dhruv Vasu to join Raghwendra at the wicket. Full toss, been punched through mid-off there, all the way to the long off fence for 4 runs. Loose delivery, meant to be punished, and punished it was. Better one this time as the batsman comes forward and pushes it defensively down on the offside. The bowler moving to his left does the fielding, no run there. Again, Dhruv comes forward, smothers the turn and pushes it down towards top mid wicket. Chance of a run out this time, but then that throw from Joe Lang The opening batsman for the Hutt Hawks wide of the wicketkeeper's gloves there as the batsman scampers back to the safety of his crease. This time Drew drives but straight to Zach Harness at mid-off. No run, end of the over. Good over from Yas got 1 for 37 after 4 overs. 110 for 4. 36 and 54. With 6 wickets in hand. Looks like there's a bowling change from the Samprasiddhi sports stereo end. Thomas Peters, the left-arm spinner, coming into bowl. Good delivery, turning into the right-handed Dhruv Vasu, who pushes it down the track on the rise back to the bowler. Wrapped on the pads this time as the ball ricochets towards the point region. They go for a quick single there. In the meanwhile, the fielder at point, Ashutosh Aryan, knocks down the wicket at the non-strikers end, but the batsman reaching safety of his crease. This is turning away from outside the leg stump, further down to the left of the wicketkeeper. Noah McConnell, who does well to move quickly to his left to gather. This is taken on the half volley and driven gently to long off as the batsman walk across for a single. Dhruv Vasu on 5, Raghavendra on strike on 6. As he comes forward to it and pushes it down towards the point there. Bit of a misfielding there by George Edward, but then backing up well is Ashutosh Aryan. Down the leg side as the batsman tries to swing but misses it completely there. You see it on your screen. And this is slammed down to long off for 4 runs there. Powerfully struck there by the batsman Raghavendra as he picked that one up on the half volley and smashed it to the right of the fielder there at mid-off. But no one to back up, and the ball raced away over the ropes for 4 runs. 118 for 4. Once again, the ball turning in, the batsman offering a defensive bat. The ball takes the outer edge and runs down towards shot third man. Xavier and Ashutosh running into the fielding, but they can't prevent the two from crossing over for a single. End of the over. 12 overs gone, 119 for 4. Thomas Peters, 1 over 8 runs. 119 for 4. 27-48. The equation for the Samprasiddhi Sports Stereo boys. flag. There's a bowling change. Zach Harkness, the number 10, coming in to take charge of bowling operations. Full toss, pull away down towards, and that's going to be runs in this, but then there's backup coming up near the boundary line, saving what would have been a boundary, but then can't prevent the two from taking 2 runs. $121 for 4. Turned away gently into the vacant mid-wicket region as the two cross over for a well-judged single. 24 and 46. Taken on the half volley and driven straight too long off there. Elias, the fielder, 1 run. Once again, the batsman comes forward to this one and pushes it defensively down on the offside towards the point region. Gets no run there as Ashutosh does the fielding. Once again, well-flatted delivery outside the off stump as the batsman takes it on the half volley and drives to mid-off for another single. Quiet cricket there by these two, nevertheless not missing opportunities to take singles and twos. There it is, another push down towards mid-on. And before Xavier Robert Falconer can return, they take another single, end of the over. 13 gone, 125 for 4. Zach Harkness, 6 runs in his first over. Raghavendra on 15, Dhruv Vasu on 7, 125 for 4, 21 and 42. Required by the home team to win this match against the visiting Hutt Hawks from Wellington in New Zealand. Thomas Peters once again in charge of bowling operations from the far end. Beaten by the turn there, the batsman as he tries to swing the ball, turns away from him into the hands of the wicketkeeper. Lucky for him, missed the stumps marginally. This time taken on the full and punched away down towards the deep square. They cross over for another single. Well-flatted delivery. The batsman goes forward, offers a defensive bat. The ball getting the outer edge and runs down towards the short square leg before Zach from mid-wicket could come and do the fielding. They cross over for another quick single. This time Dhruv turns it straight down to Zach at the short mid-wicket. Lofted shot there. Let's see. Yes, and that's going to be 6 runs at long on. The replay of that effortless 6. Once again, slammed down towards long on, and that's going to be 4 runs. Full toss, almost converted into a full toss there as he went on the front foot, went down on one knee, took it on the full, and smashed it down towards long on for 4 runs. So Thomas Peters giving away a 6 and a boundary there in this inning, this over, end of the over. Thomas Peters none for 20 after 2 overs. 137 for 4. 9 more in 36 deliveries for the home team to win against the visiting Hutt Hawks from Wellington in New Zealand. These two taking their team home with calculated shot. Zach Harkness. Ball's coming in from outside the off stump. Drew goes forward and pushes it under the covers. No run. This has been pushed away down towards the short third region, again straight to the fielder. Again, no run. The batsman in no hurry to finish it off. Tucked away to mid wicket this time. Once again, a gentle off drive towards Zilias. Raghavendra this time takes it on the half volley and drives gently down to mid off. Gets a single, end of the over. 15 gone, 138 for 4. 8 more in 30 deliveries for the Samprasiddhi Sports Stereo to wrap up this match between the under 18 boys from both sides, the Hutt Hawks from New Zealand and the Samprasiddhi Sports Stereo Academy boys. Zach Pearson Harkness, none for 7 in 2 overs. Going to be Thomas Peters again to bowl from the far end. Drew on 18 from 13. Raghavendra on 17 from 27. Drew pushes this gently into the mid-off region. Thomas Peters is moving quickly to his left. Does the fielding. No run. Got away nicely. It runs in this towards the backward point boundary, and that's 4 runs. Between the two fielders there. Four more to go for the Samprasiddhi Sports Stereo to win this match. He's been pushed down towards the square leg. They take a single there. 143 for 3 more to go. 143 for 4. Chintan Shiv Kumar, the wicketkeeper, coming up to join Raghavendra at the wicket with just 3 runs needed for victory by the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium. Full toss taken on the half volley and punched away through long on, and that's going to be 4 runs. And that's the end of the match. I think there's a swarm of bees there out on the ground with all the players lying low on the ground here to avoid being stung by the bees. So the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium winning the match by 5 wickets. Defeating the visiting Hutt Hawks from Wellington in New Zealand in this first match of the cricketing series here at the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium. So the second match will be underway in a short while from now, as the players are still on the ground there trying to escape an attack from the bees which have just flown down from the hives here somewhere on the trees, as the players and the umpires lying low on the ground as you see them on your screens. So the Samprasiddhi Sports Stadium winning the match against the Hutt Hawks from Wellington, New Zealand by 5 wickets. And when the next match resumes, we'll be back with you.